Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jill, otherwise known as the Enlightened Target, and this channel is devoted to narcissistic abuse, awareness and recovery, parental alienation, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and anything and everything associated with those three main topics. In today's video, we are talking about the unspoken rules that dominate a narcissistic family. If you have been raised in a narcissistic family, or if you have married into a narcissistic family, then today's video is for you. Narcissistic families do not operate the way functional, normal, loving families operate. Families like mine operate with a specific unspoken rules, but rules that everyone in the family is clearly aware of. And today I'm going to explain the rules that govern a narcissistic family. If you're new to my channel, I would like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me or group coaching on Wednesday evenings, please visit my website or send me an email. Both are linked in the description below. So today we are talking about the rules that govern a narcissistic family. And the first rule is that walking on eggshells is the norm. If you have a narcissistic parent or parents, then you know what I'm talking about. You never know what kind of a mood your narcissistic parent is going to be in on a moment-to-moment basis. Therefore, you and everyone else in the house will be required to walk on eggshells and pins and needles at all times, because you know that anything, absolutely anything, could set off the head narcissist at any time. So rule number one, get used to walking on eggshells. Next rule is loyalty is demanded and expected at all times, never earned. Narcissistic families tend to operate as an us against them, and they expect everyone in the family to be unconditionally loyal to them, regardless of how they have been treated or have treated someone else. You are to be 100% loyal and committed to the family unit no matter what. So rule number two, loyalty is demanded, never earned. Another rule of the narcissistic family is love is conditional. Do not expect a narcissistic family to operate under the assumption that love is unconditional, because it is absolutely 100% conditional on what you are giving to the family in the form of narcissistic supply. So if you are doing really well in school, or you are the best football player, or you get an impressive job and the head narcissist gains narcissistic supply from that, then you will be loved. However, if you aren't producing supply, then you will be ignored, abused, or ridiculed. So rule number three, love in these families is completely conditional. Next rule is that competition is valued and encouraged, not cooperation. Everything in a narcissistic family is a competition. Narcissistic parents are famous for triangulating and pitting siblings against each other. So siblings tend to not get along, but rather they compete against each other in a never-ending game to try and acquire the narcissistic parent's love and respect, which in reality cannot ever truly and sincerely be obtained, because the narcissistic parent is incapable of genuinely loving any of their children. Another unspoken rule of the narcissistic family is that feelings are bad or wrong. Narcissistic families operate under the rule of suck it up and keep your mouth shut. And if you're a sensitive child, this usually means you will be mocked, devalued, humiliated, ridiculed, and criticized when you show your emotions. Narcissistic parents don't want to be bothered by your emotions or your hurt feelings. They expect you to endure the abuse without so much as a peep. Next rule is that submission is a requirement. Narcissistic families are a dictatorship. You are required to abide by the rules and the demands of the family, period. Having individual thoughts or opinions is not allowed or encouraged. Submission to the head narcissist demands is required, no matter how wrong they are, how abusive they are, how cruel they are, or how destructive they are. Next rule is nothing, absolutely nothing, is more important than image to this family. Narcissistic families don't really care if their family members have ethics, morals, or values, as long as nobody knows. Narcissistic families are superficial and shallow. They do not care about genuine substance as long as you present the right image to everyone in the outside world. That truly is the only thing that matters and the only thing that they care about. Next rule, someone has to be blamed for the problems. There is always a scapegoat in these families. You are looking at the scapegoat for my narcissistic family. But someone has to be available to blame for any of the internal family problems or issues that arise. And if, God forbid, one of the family members is exposed to the outside world for doing something wrong or unethical, then this family will unite and blame someone or something else outside of the family unit as the actual responsible party. Another rule of living in a narcissistic family is denial rules. You are required to either be in complete denial about the reality of this family, or at least to act as if you are in denial about what this family is really about. Narcissistic families are superficial and a phony act at best. There isn't any genuine love and respect in these families. Instead, they are full of contempt, envy, abuse, and misery. Except family members are required to either be in denial about this reality or at least fake it and behave as if they have no clue what's really going on. Next, rage is accepted and normalized. As we all know, most narcissists have narcissistic rages quite frequently. These rages are expected to be accepted without question and tolerated completely, even if the rage is directed at you. Rage is an accepted and expected reality in these families. And no matter how upset and distraught the raging narcissist makes you, when the rage is over, the narcissist expects you to be over it too, and not to have a problem with the fact that you were just assaulted verbally, emotionally, psychologically, and physically. My father used to say to me when the rage was over, "Go wash your face," because I was crying so hard usually. But I knew what go wash your face meant. It meant it's over. He felt better. Therefore, I better get myself together and act as if it never happened. Another rule in narcissistic families is that you are required to take sides. The dominant narcissist of the family rules, and children and other family members are required and coerced into taking the side of the head narcissist. If you don't, the threat of being abandoned or exiled is a real fear for the children. This always happens when there is a breakup or a divorce. The malignant narcissist will require the children to take sides, forcing lies onto the children to elicit loyalty to the narcissist, many times successfully coercing the children into participating in doing terrible things to the targeted parent and utilizing blackmail against them if they tell. Malignant narcissists abuse everyone in the family, and the children are no exception to this rule. The malignant narcissist is only concerned with what they want, satisfying their desires and winning at all costs. Nothing is more important to a malignant narcissist than winning, and abusing the children in this manner to accomplish their goals is always used. Make no mistake, these people are child abusers. And finally, the last rule of the narcissistic family is that your worth and value is completely dependent on how much narcissistic supply you give to the dominant narcissist. If you aren't providing the narcissist with supply or doing something that the narcissist can garner supply from, you will be subjected to either flat out abuse, or you might be ridiculed and scapegoated, or just completely ignored as if you don't exist. Nothing is more important than supplying the head narcissist with supply. If you don't, you have no value in this family. Okay, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone.